Okay, so I'm making this video to help you out with 5.3. It does get a little bit more complicated, so I want to help you out. And this video will probably be broken up into 2, 3, or maybe even 4 or 5 videos. So stay with me, watch them. I do expect you to watch these. If I'm going to take the time to make these, hopefully you will watch them. Also, because I am making these, I hope that you'll be able to understand um, the material better when we talk about it in the class, because hopefully you will have watched these. And when future material comes up that's similar, you'll be able to hopefully grasp it a little bit better. Alright, so we're going to start. We've already gone over 5.3, but we're going to start it over again in this video. We're going to go over it, and we're going to start from number 1. So we were talking in 5.3 at the beginning about bathroom floor, and they gave us the dimensions, and one wall had the length of 8 feet 8 inches, and another one had the length of 12 feet 9 inches. And then on problem 1, it asked us to express those measurements in only feet. All right. Well, let's do that. So the first one is 8 feet 8 inches. So that's 8 feet. All right. Now I'm just going to use this little. That means feet, and this means inches. I could also, instead of using that, I could just say feet. I could write feet like this. All right. But if you see that one little line up above, that means feet as well. 8 inches. Okay. And the other measurement was 12 feet 9 inches. All right. Okay, so one needs to remember that there is 12 inches in a foot. All right, so that equals 1 foot. Okay, so 8 feet can be rewritten as 8 feet 8 divided by 12, like so. Okay, and 12 feet 9 inches can be rewritten as 12 and 9 inches. Divided by 12 too. 9 inches divided by 12 like that. See, and then you can reduce it. So if you divide both top and bottom of this by 4, it turns into 8 feet 2/3. And if you divide both top and bottom of 9/12 by 3, it turns into 12 and 3/4, like so. All right. So that is the answer for number 1. All right. All right. Let's erase all that. Actually, let's just move the screen up. All right. So now it talks about the next thing. It says round. All right. So when you're rounding, if you're actually doing a project, you're actually doing a project such as this where you're retiling a bathroom, then it would be faster to round, right? And then if you're okay with wasting a little bit of material, throwing excess material away, then it not only would be faster, but it would be easier as well. So how would we do this? Well, we'd round the 8 right here. Okay, so let's round it. All right, so 8 feet, 8 and 2/3 feet. We just round that to 9 feet. Okay, and then the 12 3/4 feet, we could round that to 13 feet. Okay, oops, I forgot the T up here. And then we're just going to multiply that because we're wanting to know the area of the bathroom. The area of the bathroom, and area equals length times width. Well, here's the length and here's the width. And so it would be 9 times 13. Well, I know from my times tables, and hopefully you will begin to memorize your timetables because you're going to need them in the rest of this class and in the future. But anyway, 9 times 12 is 108. So 108 times 13 would be 100. I mean, 9 times 13 would be 108 plus 9, which would be 117. So that is how much square feet, and then if you knew what the square feet of the bathroom was, then you could go to a store, say Home Depot, and find a tile that was, say, had square feet of a foot, 1 square foot. Then you just need 117 of those square feet, and then you'd have some excess, obviously, because we rounded up. So anyway, that's why they are showing you the rounding, so you can kind of get an idea if that you were really in a project, you could do it that way. In a real project, you'd probably want to round. It's faster. But it's not a real project, right? So now they're telling us to find the exact thing, find the exact square feet. Well, in this case, um, in the book, and I agree with it, they changed the 8 2/3 and 12 3/4 to an improper fraction. So how you do that? Well, that's 3 times 8 is 24 plus 2 is 26. And then all over 3, you keep the same denominator, and it's 3. All right? And then 12 times 4 is 48, plus 3 is 51. So now it's 51 over 4. Okay? Now you're timesing these. Okay? Well, before you times, like I've mentioned before, many times I mentioned this, that the best thing to do is to reduce, okay? Or not reduce, factor to see if you can take anything out. All right, so this is 2 times 2, and 26 is 2 times 13, and 51 would be 3 times 17, okay? Well, this makes it so we can cancel some things out. We can cancel out the 2 and the 2 on top and bottom. There's still 1, 2 left here. And there's a 13 up here. And we can cancel out the 3 here and the 3 here. So now we have 13 and 17 and 2 on bottom. So this could be rewritten as 13 times 17 all over 2. Okay, well, we can't reduce anything else at this moment. So what we want to do is we want to multiply this. Now, we can multiply it vertically like this, right? But I'm not going to. I'm going to do it. I'm going to use the distribution property, which I've taught you before, and hopefully you have learned it. And if you haven't, then pay attention, because this is how it's done. So 10 plus 13, plus 3, that is the same as 13, and 17 can be rewritten as 10 plus 7. All right, distribution property says do 10 times 10 first, then 10 times 7, then 3 times 10, and then 3 times 7. So 10 times 10 is 100, and 10 times 7 is 70, and 3 times 10 is 30, and 7 times 3 is 21. Well, that's 170, and 200 plus 21 is 221. And then remember, we got the 2, and then there's 2 there. All right, and then you reduce it. All right. Now, hopefully you can do this in your head. Basically, what I would do is I would go, okay, this is 221. I'm going to, in my head, say it's 220. Okay, and that's just in my head. I'll write it out like this, but then it makes it easier, because 220, 2 can go into 220 easily. You can see that 2 goes into 200. See, this is the 200 unit, and this is the 10 unit. And so basically 2 goes into 200 100 times, and then the 2 goes into 20 10 times. So obviously it's 110. All right. And then I just remember that there's a 1 there, and 2 doesn't go into 1, so then I wanted to divide it. All right. So I just leave it like that. And so now it's a mixed number with a half. Now, if that didn't make any sense, I can show, if you can't do that in your head, I can show you how to do it long division, all right, which you should know, but if you don't, you're just doing it this way, okay? All right, so basically you're trying to make it a mixed number, and so you want to find out how many times 2 can go into this, and then find a remainder if there is one, and then whatever remainder there is, you divide it by the 2. All right, so how many times does 2 go into 2? Well, 1 time. So now you have 0, and then you bring down the 2, and in this case I'd bring down the 2 and the 1, because I want to deal with the 21 instead of just 2, because I know 2 can go into 21 10 times. Alright? Because 2 times 10 is 20. So then I have a remainder of 1, nothing else. There's no other zeros to bring down, there's no other numbers to bring down, so there's a remainder of 1. Okay? 2 does not go into 1, but you can write it like that. So now it is 110 and 1/2. So what that means is there's 110 and 1/2 square feet. That's another thing you need to remember. You can write it like this, feet squared, right? So 110 feet squared, or let's go over here and I'll show you the other way to write it. It's 110 and a half square feet, like so. All right, either one of these works. All right, I usually do it this way, but you'll see it a lot like this as well. All right, that's pretty much it for number 1, 2, 3, and we did 3A and B. And then 4, we're just going to skip that because it asks basically a question that is obvious. It says your answers to problem 3A and 3B should agree, and they do. All right. Oh wait, we haven't done 3B, have we? Oh, okay, so I paused. Just 1 second. Let's do 3B real quick. Let's do that really quickly. So let's come over here and delete all this. Actually, let's just move this stuff because we need to make room. So here we go. So 3B, all right. So that was one way. We just showed you. That was called, when we took the numbers, the mixed number, we put it into an improper fraction, and then we multiply those improper fractions. The other way of doing that is coming over here again. So let's look at that. So that was 8, oops, it's too high up. 8 2/3, right, times 12 and 3/4, okay? In the book they show this diagram, okay? Well, I'm not going to use a diagram because the diagram helps you visualize it, but basically what this is 8 plus 2/3, all right? And then you're going to multiply it by 12 plus 3/4, and then you're going to just use the distribution property like we've done before. So this is 8 times 12, 8 times 3/4, 2/3 times 12, and 2/3 times 3/4. So 8 times 12 is 96. All right. If you don't know your times tables, again, this would be an opportunity for you to do so. All right, 8 times 3/4. Well, when you do 8 times 3/4, I'll just write it out here. 8 times 3/4. All right, and I'll write the rest of them out too. Plus 2/3. All right, times 12 plus 2/3 times 3/4. Okay? All right, so when we do this, 8 times 3, remember when you have a whole number like this and then a rational number or fraction right here, you're timesing or multiplying this whole number by the numerator, not the denominator, by the numerator, only the numerator. All right, so 8 times 3 is 24, and then you divide by 4, so 24 divided by 4 is 6, all right? And then 12 times 2 is 24, and you divide that by 3, and that turns into 8, okay? And then when you're timesing, multiplying fractions, it's straight across, so it's 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 4 is 12, and when you reduce that, that's going to equal 1/2. So this whole problem could be rewritten as 96 plus 6 plus 8 plus 1/2. And then 96 plus 6 is 102. 102 plus 8 is 110. And then plus 1/2 is 110 and 1/2. Now, that's what we found out. That's the same answer we got in 3A. So then on 4, this is where we are skipping it. 4, it said to basically say why these answers are reasonable. And they're reasonable because if you recall correctly, we rounded up before to estimate, and we had that 9 times 13, and that equaled 117. And this is definitely less than 117, so it makes sense, and that's the answer. So that's it. All right, we're going to make another video here in a second.